Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm gonna go over 10 players that have been linked with Rangers this summer so far, and if Rangers should go for them or not. And one more thing, subscribe if you haven't already and like this video too. Let's get into it. At number 10 is Gary Cahill, who is available on a free after leaving Crystal Palace. He's an experienced 35-year-old centre-back, and he's also attracting attention from down south in the English Championship. He won 2 Premier League titles and a Champions League with his time at Chelsea. Now let's talk about the competition for places at Ibrox if he does sign. As mentioned, he is a centre-back, so Connor Goldson, Philip Hollander, Balogun, Katic and Simpson would all be in the run for that spot as well. Now, would I sign him? I wouldn't, as I don't think we need a centre-back right now. At number 9, it's a player who would play in the Rangers B team, but has been linked with us for a while. It's Juan Alegria. He's a 19-year-old Colombian striker, currently playing in Finland for FC Honka. The last time Rangers signed a young Colombian striker from Finland, he turned out to be our highest scoring striker in European competitions for us. I'm obviously talking about Mr. Alfredo Morelos. So he would, most likely play in our B team, because that's what we're trying to do now. Recently, he has scored a double against Ilves in the Finnish league. About the competition for places, he would be in the B team, and he'd have to find his way past the talented Tony Weston. Then in the first team, he'd have to get past Morelos, Itin, Roof, Sakala, and Defoe. He's apparently in London for a medical with Rangers and quarantining as well. So yeah, we might sign him. We wouldn't have to pay much for him either, so I think we should sign him as well. So yeah. Next up, it's Zinedine Ferhat, who is an Algerian attacking midfielder, currently playing in the second tier in France for Nîmes. He is valued at around £4 million, as his contract is up in 2022. He would be a decent signing for Rangers, and he would probably play as one of Gerrard's 10s, so his competition would be Hadji, Wright, Kent, and more. He has made 13 appearances for his national team, Algeria. In my opinion, he could be a decent signing, and I do think we need a new winger or 10 for the team. Moving on to number 7, it's bright Osayi-Samuel, who Rangers have been interested in for a while, and he is a 23-year-old Nigerian winger who would join his fellow countrymen Aribo, Balogun and Ofabor at Rangers for around £3 million. He was previously with QPR in the Championship after moving to Fenerbahce for £500,000, but since moving to Turkey, he wants to move back to Britain, and it could be a nice signing. He will be a 10 if he signs for Rangers, having Kent, Hadji, Wright and co for his competition. Would I sign him? Yes, I would, and I think we are actually lacking a winger right now. He is a speedster, and one of his big attributes is pace, and I think he could be good for us. At 6th place, I've put Danilho Doekhi, who is a 23-year-old Dutch centre-back for Vitesse in the Dutch league, and he is the captain for his team right now. He's actually out injured at the time of making this video, but he was recently heavily linked with Rangers. His contract is up in June of 2022, so he wouldn't cost as much and would probably have a price tag of around £2 million. Maybe if we see Balogun leave at the end of the season, he could be this replacement. The big 6'2" centre back would have a lot of competition because he is a centre back. This competition would be Katic, Goldson, Hollander, Balogun, Simpson. So personally, unless we offload a centre back or two, I wouldn't sign him. In 5th, it's Gustavo Hamer, who is yet another Dutch player, but this player is a 24-year-old midfielder currently bossing the midfield for Coventry down in England in the Championship. He would cost around £3 million because Coventry spent a big £1.5 million for him. He would have a lot of competition though, because he is a midfielder. and I don't think he's the player we need right now, so I wouldn't sign him. At fourth, it's a surprising one. It's David Bates, who's recently been linked with a shock return to Rangers from partner club Hamburg. The 24-year-old Scottish centre-back signed for Rangers back in January of 2017 from Wraith Rovers, and he played well for us when he did, and he was an aspiring young talent. He then left, however, after 1 year on a free to Hamburg and went out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday and Cercle Bruges. Personally, I don't think he's good enough for us anymore, so I wouldn't sign him. In at third, I was meant to put another player, but they have since signed for a different club. I wrote the full script for it and everything, and last second he signed for another club. And Rangers haven't been linked with, we've not been linked with too many players this window. So I've done my best with this one. Anyways, at third, I've put Dutch defensive midfielder Abdou Harroui, who currently plays for Sparta Rotterdam. He would cost around 3 million if we were to sign him. His instant competition would only be, the whole midfield: Jack, Davis, Kamara, Aribo. The whole midfield, which is stacked. For those reasons, I don't think there's much point of signing him, and he wouldn't really be much of an addition to the squad. To be honest with you, the other candidates for this position are also midfielders, them being 22-year-old Croatian Ivan Lepenjika, 24-year-old Dutch Sursau Juninho bacuna playing for Huddersfield, and I'll do a video on him soon, and 23-year-old German Saleh Ozcan. The only reason I didn't put bacuna is because I'm going to do a video on him soon. At second place, it's Jonson Clarke-Harris, who is a 27-year-old striker capable of playing for both England and Jamaica, similar to Kemar Roof. He currently plays for Peterborough in the Championship, but he would cost around £5 to £7 million because Peterborough rate him highly. He scored 31 goals and got 3 assists in 45 appearances in the League One last season, whilst also picking up 4 yellow cards. The question is, can he keep up his good form in a better league? We shall see. In terms of competition, there's a lot of it, with Roof, Sakala, Morelos, Itten and Defoe already in the run for that striker spot. For him being too expensive and Rangers not really needing him, I wouldn't sign him. And of course, who else could it be at first other than Joey Veerman? And this transfer saga has gone on for a while now. If you don't already know, Joey Veerman is a 22-year-old box-to-box midfielder who plays in his home country, the Netherlands, for Heerenveen. He has had a lot of competition for interest from clubs all around Europe this summer, but not one offer has been accepted by his club Heerenveen. He has previously slammed Heerenveen for asking for too much money for him. Other clubs are now trying to sign him, of course. Now he's trying to force his move away. It has been speculated that Rangers have made a bid for him already. Other reports have said Rangers would only bid for him if they made the Champions League. He has once again slammed Heerenveen for the asking price, as they reportedly want 7 to 9 million for him. So if we could sign him for that fee, he would be Rangers' record signing. It is clear he wants to move away, and playing European football could attract him to Rangers. He could also play in our midfield, so he'd have to get past Davis, Arfield, Hadji, Aribo, Kamara, Lundstrom, Jack and more to get into the team. If we could afford him, and if Heerenveen dropped their asking price, I would definitely sign him up, as he is a top player. Now that is all finally done. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.